What's going on, everybody? As you can see, I'm here. We've done something different with the camera. Actually, I think, hope, believe that it is full screen now. Let me turn my handy dandy tablet on here. Unless I killed it yesterday, which is possible. And I will jump on over on my end. That way I can watch the comments. Make sure I turn my volume down here. We don't want that happening again. There we go. Let's go to my channel. Episode 4. What's going on, bag boys? I'm just now getting to the comments, so sorry if you said it earlier and I didn't see it. I'm just now getting to it. I'm also turning on my tablet so I can watch it from 2 angles. And does the camera look any better, man? Yeah, I gotta move my cup here. Got some sweet tea tonight. Watch my tablet not want to work for me. Does it? Good. Our boy Justin fixed that for me. There we go. Go to my channel. Thank you. This thing's slow, man. Well, I guess it does look better. Except the thing don't keep falling right. I really didn't do any promoting on this one. I couldn't do that while I'm on stream here. But tonight is a no notes kind of night. Want to kind of keep it a little bit shorter than the other ones have been, just because I got another thing I'm doing at 9:30 Central Standard Time. But I am glad that you're here. I am actually going to go ahead and do a little bit of promoting real quick since I thought about it. And let's get the thing going. Let's do the dang thing. Okay. I don't think that's the right one. Well, that's the right one. Where'd it go? Where's it at? It might help. So what you into, man? Open for policy tonight. Anybody that comes in and has something they want to talk about, put it in the comments. We'll talk about it. I know it looks like I'm not paying attention, but I am. I am attempting to do the things that I should have done when I got home, but I didn't. So let's pop this back open here. Smashing Chipotle. You talking about the restaurant, or are you talking? There it went, man. Yeah, now I gotta restart the tablet. And I need a new one. I don't want to reboot in safe mode. Quit being. Just do what I want you to do. We talking about the The restaurant, chipotle peppers, the sauce, the seasoning. What's up? I really wish it showed. Copy that one. Get on here. Paste it there. We're 6 minutes in and all I got is smashing Chipotle. It's a restaurant. I've never been to Chipotle. The peppers and the sausage, both pretty good. I've never really been to Chipotle though. I've never really seen any kind of intrigue or pull to go to Chipotle. I've heard some good things about them. I've heard some bad things about them. And like I said, I ain't never been. But the peppers, the seasoning, if you throw it in at home, I ain't never really had Chipotle peppers. I've had the seasoning, like a Chipotle sauce or something like that. It's alright. It's not smashing as you said. It is alright for sure. I know it looks like I'm not paying attention. I'm just my tablet getting on my nerves. Now it's turned its own airplane mode on, so I gotta get back to that. Trying to do a little bit of wheeling and dealing and some promoting and get things set up. We got home late tonight, man. It was like 6:30 when we got home or so. I wasn't even paying attention to the time when I was trying to fix the camera here. What topic you talking first? We were going on Chipotle, the restaurant, but I ain't never been. So I can only give you my opinion on the flavors of Chipotle and like burritos and stuff like that. Chipotle sauce is good, but it's not, end all be all. And also, still attempting to. What's going on, Tiger? Glad you can make it, man. Hope your trip has been safe without too many hiccups. We were sitting there kinda discussing the Chipotle restaurant. Like I said, I ain't never been. What are your thoughts on Chipotle, the restaurant, Tiger? Oh man, it could be Hush. Tiger's normally the one that jumps on DeadWolvz though. Could be Hush or Snipe or JoJo, Yo-Yo. It's gotta be one of y'all. See if I can turn the mic up a little bit. Looks like it's a little low tonight. Yes, we are. And I do appreciate DeadWolvz Gaming. DeadWolvz Gaming brought me into their fold, and the first couple episodes I forgot to shout them out, but the last episode I gave them and LOA a shout out. That was my Discord fan. My mic is always low. No, I kind of talk low too, and I moved my mic the other day. Hushy, what's going on, Hushy? Y'all see that shadow? Or is that just me? Yeah, I moved my mic a little bit further away, so that could be part of the problem. Let me see if I can move it back to where it was without breaking my tablet. You kinda seen it? Okay. I thought I seen something on the camera there. I wasn't for sure. Let's move bit closer to me. I seen that ghost. Wow, okay. Sound of really? It's gonna do this right now. No, I don't want to move it. This thing, man. Let me just jump off and go back to it. There. Seen that ghost? It was like right over here, wasn't it? Man, what are you? T-Bone's mad about those premium. He might be, man. Gotta put that premium in it. How's your day been, Hushy? This is a free-for-all. Any topic you put up here, any topic that gets thrown across my comments that I catch, I am talking about it. Bag Boys was the first one to pop in with Chipotle, smashing Chipotle. And as I was telling him, Chipotle as a seasoning or a sauce, yes. The restaurant, I have no idea about the restaurant. And Buck Justin, my dude, my IRL dude, he helped me fix the camera tonight. So shout out to him. Shout out to the DeadWolvz. Shout out to LOA. Just make sure we're talking about the superior platform for gaming. Oh, who is talking about the superior platform for gaming? So is that we're gonna start off with that? PC, Sony, or Xbox? Right now, I have to say PC. One, because it's what I'm using at the moment. Two, my go-to game, 7 Days to Die, is in a better state on PC than it will be on console until they decide they're gonna drop it. Oh, no problem, man. Actually, in my description, you can find a link to the Discords of DeadWolvz LOA gaming community, my online family. Now we ain't gonna do this. PlayStation is not number one right now. Microsoft is nowhere near number two. PC can't be number three. Only reason being, well, Microsoft might can be number two. Microsoft and PC, Microsoft, then PlayStation. Only because Microsoft has a big library. Yeah, there are always opinions about it. I think it has to go PC. I used to be Sony guy. Sony used to be my thing. Before that was Nintendo. I was never gonna jump over to anything else outside of Nintendo until they came out with the Wii. The Wii didn't interest me at all. Like, I played it. I seen the design of it. I was a huge GameCube fan. Like, I loved the GameCube. The Nintendo GameCube was my thing. While everybody else was getting a PlayStation 2 and then upgrading to the PS3, Nintendo was my thing. I had the Super Nintendo. My cousin had the regular Nintendo. And I think we both upgraded about the same time to the N64. And then after that, I think he stopped playing. He stopped caring about any kind of games. Yeah, you remember, man. I had that GameCube. That GameCube went everywhere I went. I like the GameCube because it was portable for a console game, and the little discs, those were just different. The little discs. But, currently, it's got to be PC, Microsoft, Sony. Nintendo has its own little niche it's filling out. So Nintendo always has to be in the talk. I mean, why aren't they in the big boy console talks? Why can't Nintendo be like number two? And I understand, they do a lot more family oriented titles. They don't really do. You want the consumer results? You came here for my opinions, not the consumer's opinion. No. But at the end of the day, PlayStation and Xbox are designed with PC parts. LOL, not like Not like it have its own unique parts. It has computer parts in order for it to work. Nintendo lost me when they came out with the Wii. And Hushy, you're absolutely right. These the consoles, they do work on computer parts, and I believe that's why they kind of fall short of that PC standard. The PC standard, you can do whatever with a PC. Like if you want to upgrade it, you want to play better, play faster, you always got those parts. You can go above and beyond. When you buy the console, that's what you get with the console, depending on which iteration of the console you get. And Nintendo's always in the talk. We ain't gonna squash Nintendo like that, man. Nintendo is the shiznit. Especially with that new Zelda game I heard they came out with. What was it? Breath of the Wild. I heard a lot of people talking real good about that. I haven't got the chance to even put my eyes on. Like I've seen maybe a 10-second clip of Breath of the Wild. But yeah, it's gotta go PC. Xbox and Sony with the new generations, they have come close within each other, but I am gonna give the slight edge to Sony just because I messed with them. Well, I messed with Microsoft too back when they had the 360, and then I upgraded to a PlayStation. And PlayStation's where I met a lot of my friends, like Hushy. I met him on PlayStation. I met Tiger here on PC. I met our boy Clone. I met him on PlayStation. You remember Cancer Hushy? Met her on PlayStation. And Texas Boy PlayStation. Snipe I met on PC. Like when I had the 360, I didn't play online. I played local games. The biggest one on the Microsoft 360 was Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I played that for a long time on Microsoft. Then I played the Gears of War. Played I think all of them that were on the 360. You remember everyone. Remind me not to piss you off. Yeah, Bag Boys, I can't believe you hating on Nintendo like that, man. Bag Boys. Oh, I didn't say it at the beginning of the podcast. Intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm not kid friendly. Thank you. Man, number one game of our childhood was Halo. Oh man, I'm gonna have to come smack the bag out your name. Halo, then Zelda. Come here. Look at me. I think you're absolutely insane. Halo, wish it was Zelda. Period. Yeah. Any order you pick? Nah, man. I remember you used to have the original Xbox, Bag Boys. You had the original Xbox and you had that game Destroy All Humans. That was your childhood game, man. Don't lie to me. But my childhood game. Damn, what game did I play most as a child? There used to be this game on the Super Nintendo called I remember, man. I remember a lot of stuff. Not everything, but a lot. I'm not DeadWolvz Gaming over there or Mr. Hushy. There used to be a game on the Super Nintendo called Rock and Roll Racing. I believe that would. And let me try and remember. I believe that was probably the game I spent most of my time on the Super Nintendo. Rock and Roll Racing. It was pretty cool too because you start out with like a box body truck. Man, on screen. I don't know if y'all can see it. Maybe that big on screen. and you would race around these tracks, jumps, and then you get like missiles. It was almost like Mario Kart racing before Mario Kart racing, but it was like a top-down view, and you were racing around it. And it would play rock and roll songs, not the lyrics. It would just play the instrumental part of it, and that was pretty fun. And then as you go along, you get better cars. The best car was like a rocket car. I remember playing that like crazy. And then there was the original Mortal Kombat. I think at one time I made my cousin mad because if y'all remember in the original Mortal Kombat, the game breaking move on that for me was to jump in the air and kick, like jump across screen kick, jump across screen kick. I beat that game so many times doing that. And that was absolutely a lot of fun. But yeah, if we're gonna compare Halo to Zelda, y'all gonna get me on that Zelda kick, man. Zelda, Ocarina of Time on the N64 was probably hands down the most played game. No, what we knowing about? What you gonna disagree with this time, bag boy? I did have Need for Speed, but that was back on the PlayStation 2. Or no, that was on the GameCube, wasn't it? But Super Nintendo was Rock and Roll Racing, or Donkey Kong Country. I think those are pretty neck and neck. Uh, Need for Speed Underground, or was it Underground 2? Either way, I played both of them on the GameCube, and they were uh, some good times. I remember the original Driver, man, where you just drove around and had to perform certain things, and how it pissed me off because it wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. Uh, but I mean, Driver now, if you look at it, man, it was a trash game, to be honest. It might have set up the Need for Speed genre, but Driver was just garbage. I don't know why we had so much fun playing that. Gonna go to Consumer Reports again. It came with a two CD set. Man, Husker, if you're there, do you remember a game that was along the lines of Twisted Metal, but it was called like Vigilante 8? What we got? I guess so. I guess for me, Halo and SOCOM was my childhood game that I enjoyed most because I was able to play competitive against professional players. Awesome experience. Halo and SOCOM. SOCOM. Why is that sounding familiar? Dude. Was that strategy game that pitted you against aliens, pretty much? Why do I remember having a mic to talk on that? I don't know. You probably had a mic for Halo. I couldn't get into Halo. Personally, I didn't get into it. Probably the reason why I suck at first-person shooters today. Or any kind of shooters for that. No, it's a military tactical shooter. What am I thinking of that was like a strategy game that was, it pitted you against aliens taking over, like, cities and stuff? Conker's Bad Fur Day. A lot of people remember Tony Hawk fondly. I never got into that one either. I remember, Pokemon Stadium on the N64. 007 GoldenEye. But for the Twisted Metal question, I'm not sure if there were any games like that one. Yeah, there was one called I think it was called Vigilante 8, and it had not as cartoonish of vehicles, but it had vehicles that had guns and missiles and fucking power ups that you could get. Twisted Metal was the stuff too. 007 GoldenEye. It does. That SOCOM sounds familiar, but I don't want to lie to you and say that I played it, and I don't want to lie and say that I didn't play it. This is an opinion thing, but this is also me not wanting to lie to anybody about anything I've done. So I'm gonna say I have to stay neutral on it. Diddy Kong Racing, yeah, I remember that. My cousin actually had that. My cousin that lived up in Nashville, he had that. We played that all the time too. Didn't fire, yeah. I like that better than I liked the Mario Kart racing at the time on the N64. Now Mario Kart could no mercy. Makes me sad. Makes me sad that Diddy Kong Racing didn't keep going. I liked how they had all the different kind of races. Like you could race your car, airplanes, boat. Was it boats or tubes, something like that? Y'all remember Banjo and Kazooie? WWF No Mercy. Here Comes the Pain I like better than No Mercy. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. That one was a lot of fun, man. But this still isn't addressing the console versus PC wars that's been waging on for years and will continue. Personal opinion on job pay nationwide. Are we speaking about the minimum wage? I think we're moving topics back, boy. Going to minimum wage. The minimum wage discussion. As he still spouts out video games. So, personal opinion on minimum wage. My messages are lagged. Tell you what, bag boys, we are going full on gaming on Saturday. 100%. I'm dedicating Saturdays to gaming, and I'm also going to attempt to get either Hushy here or Tiger in on a party with me come Saturday afternoon. I haven't set up a time for that, but Saturday is 100% gaming. We're going to talk about gaming from the time I start until I decide that I've had enough talking to people. No. But we are moving on with that minimum wage barrier gap question. How I feel about it. What is it now? Like 15 an hour? Well, you do 15 by 40. That gives you what? That only gives you $600 a week, which is $2,400 a month, which should, in general, be ideal for anybody working. It's the low standard. Minimum wage rising only means prices on consumer products go up as well, so in return they'll raise it till you feel, yeah. So the thing with minimum wage is it has never kept up with the rate of inflation. Even back, it was on my first one, we had talked about in the 1920s, are we softer now than we were back then? I covered a little bit. In the 1920s, they started the law of minimum wage. They started trying to look out for people that were working. In 1920, minimum wage was 16 cents an hour. Now we're making like 15 to 18, wherever it's at. I forget. I don't even know what it is around here because so many different jobs here. Like the minimum wage you would expect. Like at Burger King, McDonald's, they're offering like 13 to 15. I believe Walmart's offering like $18 an hour to start. I'm not even sure what minimum wage is here. But the deal with minimum wage is it has never caught up or stayed up with the rate of inflation. So no matter what you're making an hour, you're going to feel it in your pocket. We need to make it to where instead of raising the inflation, we need to pay down everything that we owe. What is he saying? A minimum, a household with mom and dad plus 2 kids needs to have a combined hourly rate of at least $40 an hour to stay afloat. I don't think we're gonna get $40 an hour for combined. Yeah, sure, we can do that, but as a single person, even living by yourself, man, the prices of rent always go up. Your gas prices have been shooting up. Groceries are shooting up. I believe it said when last time I looked at it, the rate of inflation on just a gallon of milk, right? It raised 4% in this last year. That's just a gallon of milk. That's not talking about the higher stuff like your coffee. People think they need the coffee. Some people might need coffee, but the rent, your utilities, um, getting back and forth to work, even if getting back and forth to work, your vehicle, the insurance on that, your home insurance or renter's insurance, um, some kind of like a bed, uh, a living room suite, things like this. Even at $40 an hour combined, right? 40 times 40, 1600 a week. 16 times 4 is 0042, $6,400. A bed, like my new bed over there, that's gonna cost 14 grand. Okay, my car when it's all paid, that's gonna be 15 grand. My bed's almost as expensive as my car is. And then you gotta think, you want to furnish your place. If it's just you by yourself at $40 an hour, let's look at it that way. You're bringing home 6,400 a month. That 6,400 a month is going to be chipped away at, and then they expect. Here's how it should be: 50% of what you make should be used on your living situation. That includes rent, your groceries, utilities. What is it? What do we got here? Yes, combined Happy Meals used to be $1.99, $2.99, now $5.49 to $6. All that stuff continues to spike like crazy. It sure does. 40 by 40 by 52 is $83,200 before taxes, and I'm kind of working on my way up to that. I forgot where I was at, man. Okay, 50% should be lived on should be saved for your living situation, your utilities, your groceries, your fuel bill back and forth to work. 30% should go into your 30% should go into your saving, and 20% of whatever you make needs to go into entertainment, your TV, your Netflix, your Hulu, your Disney Plus, your HBO Max, your what's that other one? Paramount Plus. Um, yeah, your entertainment value should be 20% of whatever you're making. And then on top of that, you're making this money throughout the year. Yeah, you have a chance to 10% to the church if you go to church. If you tithe, 10% to the church. So that throws an extra wrench on that 50, 30, 20. Unless you want to put the 10% into the 50% of what you make as your living expenses. Then it would be 60, 20, 20. And as you're working, you can make more money by working overtime, but that's going to give more money to be able to be taxed. But here's the thing about taxes, right? You want to be kind of, here's how it works. You get what you make to like a certain extent, like let's just set the bar at 100,000. Get to 100,000, that's going to be taxed at a certain rate. Anything above the 100,000, like say you make 130,000, only $30,000 of that is going to be taxed at the higher bracket. The rest of the 100,000 will be taxed by the lower bracket. So, going by that, I'm not sure what tax rate is anymore. And it's absolutely insane that I even know that one part I just told you, because I'm not a tax person. I don't like taxes. I don't know nobody who does. And in certain states, you got your sales tax that you're paying, food tax. Is it 23%? 0.23%? I'm sorry, I was trying to figure that out real quick. Man, that's gotta stop. But yeah, minimum wage will never catch up with the rate of inflation as long as we continue doing what we've been doing, and that's borrowing money, sending money where it don't need to be sent. It needs to come home, stay home. We need to do stuff with it. The American citizens need it more than whoever they're claiming to support. Alright, they do their things over there. If we ever need help, ain't nobody gonna be backing us up. Food tax, property tax, sales tax. We pay sport tax in the city, which is called a luxury tax, and a sugar tax. Man, y'all pay all kinds of taxes. The working class gets taxed to death, and if we get taxed to die. There's a death tax on people dying. We can't even die for free. Yeah, paychecks get taxed. Where are you at with it, Hushy? You following along, man? It does. I mean, it gets spiked. And it's gonna continue to get higher. Like milk was on the low end, and it raised up 4%. So that was the low end of stuff. And I've heard people complain more about milk than like eggs. I believe eggs went up like 7 or 8%. Yeah, I mean, we really do get taxed completely to death, and then after that, it's a bad thing, man. We need to we need to start setting terms on the people we put in charge, and we need to start putting our foot down for that. We have lost our position in this whole thing. As American citizens, the government's supposed to work for us, not vice versa. We ain't supposed to be tiptoeing around the government. The government should be scared of its people. If not, you get a dictatorship or communism. We're starting to lose our place as the citizens of this great nation, 100%. They don't give a shit about us no more. The only thing that keeps them in check is the Constitution, and that's barely. Some places that barely holds up. What else we got? Alright. So, minimum wage is not enough. They want us to feel like it's enough. It will never be enough. It's never been enough. Social Security? What about it, man? Sorry, I had to wet the whistle there. Got a little bit too into explaining and trying to get to the explanation of what I was thinking. Since I was a kid, they always said we were gonna run out. Are you afraid that it will run out? Say by the time your retirement age? My mom says they've said that since she was a kid. If your mom's there, hey Trish. What are my thoughts on Social Security? I don't think it's enough. I really don't think it's enough. Unless we find a way to make generational wealth within our generation to hand down the people that are on Social Security that deserve it. I ain't got a bone to pick with them. It's the people that are milking the system that is going to. It's a little bit busting. Um, it's the people that are milking the system, and I can't prove that people are milking the system, right? They say it's milking it. The thing with Social Security is it was set up. When was it set up? Like in the 30s or 40s? If you look at the life expectancy back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, um, it was set up for people to reached age 65 and older. The life expectancy of the 30s, 40s, 20s was not 65 at that time. So when it was set up, it was not set up to an age that people were expected to make it to. Now with medical discoveries, medical jumps in technology, and people becoming more aware of how to take care of themselves, we have reached that threshold of age. There are more people on Social Security that deserve to be there. They worked their way there. They paid into the system, and the way it is set to bust. At bust. It's just set to bust for us. Anybody that's in the younger generations, I'm gonna go with 50 and lower. They're gonna have to work harder, and even after retirement, find some kind of way to supplement that income. Would you say Social Security is said to run out by 2033? That's like 10 years is what you're saying. One of two things have got to happen. We either need to be paying more into Social Security, so when we get to the age to retire, we can do it comfortably, or they need to raise the age of availability to Social Security. Social Security is not supposed to be touched by anything that we pay out or we pay in. It's not supposed to be touched until we get to the age that we can retire. Again, I'm going to reiterate and push that point. Some people do deserve to be on it earlier. They work their hands to the bone to be there. And some people, they get sick, injured, or become millionaires. I mean, millionaires don't need to be on Social Security though. That leaves us nothing to live on but our 401k, retirement, pension, or assets and investment income. I don't think it's going to run out by 2033. Like you said, your mom has been saying it. You've been hearing it. The older people have been saying it. The only reason they say that is because my hair got stuck in my shirt there. The only reason they're saying that is so that they can have deniability for people that try to go on Social Security. That's my belief on that. They don't want to pay out Social Security to people that don't meet the requirements of the age or injury or health problems. And they shouldn't, and I also believe that they're giving more out than they need to be to certain people. I believe it should come every week, right? Like a full-time job. You shouldn't get 14, 15, 8, or whatever you're getting at the front of each month. You should get it each week, and maybe that would work. Maybe it would help. I doubt it would work or help because things are really messed up here. The government we have, the administrations we have had growing up, have not been good at supplementing that income, trying to get people into work, off of the system that don't need to be there. Our senior citizens, they deserve it. And that's where I'll stop with that. As for the 401k and retirement plans, pensions, assets, yeah, if you're smart and you're good at it, giving into a 401k is really good because a lot of places they do match dollar for dollar up to a certain point. Your pensions, I have no idea what a pension really is at a glance or at a thought. I have no idea what it means. I know what it means, I don't know how it works. Assets, just be smart with your assets. Take care of things. Take care of your house, take care of your car, take care of your bank account, take care of things. Those are your assets. Investment income, I don't know anything about investments. But I do know that if you work at them good and you have something to retire on, that's always a plus, right? That's always gonna help cushion any kind of social security income that you might be expecting that you might not get. So that can help cushion that. I believe we'll have things. We gotta be smarter for the future generations. Our daughters, our sons, our nieces, nephews. We have to be better. You know, the people that are in charge now, I guess they don't know how to be better. We need to be better. Pension is an account your employer pays into that we are owed when we retire. Okay. I appreciate that bit of knowledge. I did not know. So that kind of matches with the 401k then. And if we're working for good companies, the 401k should be enough to retire on without that Social Security income. So if you got a good 401k and a good pension, like and it's really good, I mean, why would you want to go on Social Security if you have a good 401k and a good pension? There would be no reason for it, right? That could be left to somebody else that maybe didn't work for as good of a company or as good of a boss or anything like that. They would be the ones needing that cushion of Social Security. So it boils down to businesses are some businesses are good, some businesses are bad. As long as you can find somebody right there in the middle, you should be able to retire comfortably at least. You find a really good one, you'll be able to be more than comfortable. If you work for a shit one, you're going to need that cushion of Social Security. That's the thought that just ran through my head. I just ran with it. I jumped on that train and rode it. As again, this is Free for All Friday. No notes. What you say is what you're getting out of me. So what else we got? Wish I had like a soundboard over here. Play like the Jeopardy song or something for you guys. The Wheel of Fortune sounds. Who is dominating the cell phone market? And why? Yeah, you got me on that one, huh? Who is dominating? Completely dominating. And I'm gonna do this without looking it up. Just being posed a question. Who is it? We're going with my personal opinion. Of course, we're going with my personal opinion. It's called the Merciless Opinion. I am your host, Sir Merciless. That is really tough, to be honest. I like to say somebody new came in and just started wiping everybody out, right? But that's not what's going to happen. People are scared to change. People don't want their tech to change. They want it to advance. They don't want it to change. And as of the number one iPhone, I have to give it to Apple. They have been kind of dominating since that big fluke Samsung did with the Note. What Note was it? The Note 5, 6, the one that had the blowing up batteries. Ever since then, Apple has perceivably dominated the entire market. Wireless Bluetooth phones, customer service. I have not really ever heard any bad thing about customer service. I'm sure there are bad stories and people have had bad experiences with them. They've changed texting forever. Texting has been changed, man. BlackBerry changed that. Don't lie to yourself. They changed the grand scheme of things, and they made people more aware that there were better options than just the standard smartphones we were getting. The iPhone 1 did change the game for the better. They started the whole "you left me on" red. They started the whole emoji thing. But yeah, BlackBerry changed the texting game. Apple changed everything else. If it weren't for BlackBerry, Apple probably would have never had the idea to get the QWERTY keyboard on your screen. After BlackBerry came out, everybody was jumping to try and get that QWERTY keyboard. And you looked at the LG MV3, it came out with that. It flipped to the side and you had the QWERTY keyboard. iPhone can decipher if you're texting an Android or an iPhone by color. That it does. But the game changer was the BlackBerry. You're not changing my mind on that. And you remember the juke phone? Those little juke phones? That was like a stick phone. If I'm not mistaken, Bobby had one of those, a juke phone. LG was trying to stay ahead of the times too. Because remember they had the chocolates, and then like it was like a year before smartphones, right? It was like a year before smartphones that came out. The LG came out with the chocolate touch, or it might have been the same year as smartphones came out. LG came out with the chocolate touch. It had the touch screen and all that. I believe LG was trying so hard to be breaking tech that they broke themselves out of the competition. He had a Razor. It was somebody that had a juke phone. Maybe it was Sean. I remember playing with him one day. Sean had one. What was your first phone, Hush? Your first mobile phone? He had one of them Motorola, one of them Nokias. I'll tell you the first mobile phone I got for myself and paid for. I didn't get it till I was 18, and it was a Motorola. It was a flip phone, but it was a Motorola. I don't remember the model of it, but paid for my hard work. Paid the bill on it. Paid for the phone. I don't have an all-time favorite phone, to be honest. They're just tools to me. Like, yeah, I can talk to people on it. I can do my work on it too. So it's a tool at this point. Phones have become so integrated in our civilization that let's say that big I think it was Intello's flip phone. Man, Intello. I ain't even heard of them in a while. But phones have become so integrated in our civilization, our everyday life, that if we had that big solar flare that they've been talking about for years now to come through and wipe out all the electricity, I believe a lot of people are going to go in. I don't want to be inconsiderate about it, but I believe a lot of people are going to go insane. They're not going to get that dopamine hit every time you touch a screen, which is why they're built the way they are, the apps and such. If you read up on it, Facebook and all that, they rely on that click, get that little bit of dopamine every time you click on like a video. YouTube, you get a like on your Instagram photo, you get that little bit of dopamine every time you see that. So if we have that solar flare they've been talking about, it's going to look like the Dark Ages again. But yeah, dominating the phone market at the moment, I believe, has to be Apple. I really wish BlackBerry would come back with something. Hell, Nokia can make a comeback. I'd like to see a tough touch screen, one that ain't gonna break, one you can slam down like you're spiking a football and not break. What else we got? I hate these little awkward silences, and I really dislike getting this lag on the comments. This is why I need to get a soundboard. and probably fix my lighting. I like to light up Goku in the back there. Intello flip phone. Anybody ever, any of y'all ever own one of them track phone, like them little bitty track phones that are about that big? Play some Snake on it. Android is BlackBerry nowadays. Yeah, I had that too. I think. Yeah, man, my dad had one of those. He would sit there after he get home from work, and he Android is just an operating system, bad boys. Yeah, my dad used to have it on like his first cell phone that I ever paid attention to. He would get on there and he'd have a snake covering the whole box, and he'd have no reason, like no other choices but to run into the wall. No, but BlackBerry needs to do its own thing, man. I would really love to see that comeback story. They deserve it too. All right. If that's gonna be it, you guys let me know. I'm here. Got about another 20 minutes. What we got? This is maybe a clone question left out loud, but importance of mental health and well-being. Importance of mental health and well-being. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I'll give you that. Um, the importance, staggering. We ain't cutting it short, man. I just the comments are running real slow, and I know I'm getting a lot of dead time in here. The importance, staggering, of both mental health and well-being. Um, I believe it is starting to come to a forefront for men in general of their mental health and well-being. We're starting to acknowledge it, realize it, that it's a real problem between men, because we're not supposed to talk about emotions. We're not supposed to show the emotions. We're supposed to be the stone, the rock, the foundation that the house and people you support stand on. We're not supposed to show that kind of weakness. It is extremely important to know that you are important to somebody in your life. It's extremely important that you love yourself. It's extremely important to love the people around you, and that they show you that love and respect and honor back. This is more of a clone question because he is more educated in the topic itself. But the importance of it is astronomical, staggering. We are just now breaking through the stereotype that we are supposed to be the solid rock. Even rock crumbles, man. How diamonds even break at times. They got to. How you get the laser engraved diamonds. So everything has a breaking point, and men, people, humans. Doesn't matter what you consider yourself. You're a human. Period. We all have a breaking point. We all need to acknowledge that. We all need to set boundaries, keep those boundaries, and keep the people around you knowingly that you love them 100. If you can't tell somebody you love them, if you can't tell yourself you love yourself, you need to see somebody about it. You need to talk about it. You need to get it off your chest. You need to get it off your shoulders. What we got? What would happen if all Americans stopped paying bills and strike? I will get to that in a moment. Yeah, just don't let the stuff just keep building up and building up. Like I'm pretty bad for that myself. I've not wanted to recognize that I'm not a piece of stone. I'm a person as well. Um, but yeah, just if you're here, you're watching, know you're loved. You're very important to somebody. You're very important to me. If you're here showing me love, I'm gonna show it back to you in any way I can. Uh, Now, for the next one, what would happen if we all, as Americans, stopped paying bills and strike? The government would have no more play money. No, actually, a lot of things would probably happen, right? Cities would not be able to repair things. Our what is it? GDP would go down. The country would make less money. Uh, Probably hospitals and stuff would start shutting down. Infrastructure would crumble. Um, but if we all went on strike for the same reasons and got ahead of some of these problems that might happen during the American strike, let's just put it in a hypothetical. The entire nation has went on strike. We're all on strike at the moment. Hypothetically, if we got ahead of some of these problems, we could bullhorn in a I don't want to say a new country, a new government. We could bullhorn in the voice of the people, kind of like something I was referring to earlier. We could take back our stance, our position as the American citizens and as the government working for us, not vice versa. We could get some things done as people. There's what 393 million Americans, and what like maybe 500-600 people in on Congress at any given time in the government, like DC wise. Um, the bad thing about that is, if we were to all strike, utilities would probably be one of the first things to go during this strike. They would want to cut off the water supply, electric supply. They would cut off any kind of information going out from where they're at and from us receiving it. So we would be going into a blind. Plus, they would have the military. What parts of the military would decide not to strike, because that is a government entity as well. They would have the CIA, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security. We would have to overcome all of that to get what we think needed to be done. But we would have the numbers. So hypothetically, striking, we could make a difference. We could probably make it faster than a picket line here or there, or a march down Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard here and there. If we were all to do it at the same times, the power is within the number. The power should be with the people. The power would return to the people eventually, and that's as it should be. We could bullhorn that in hypothetically. But yeah, it would take a while. I wouldn't say it would be like an overnight thing. It would take us overcoming all the obstacles, the the uh, the hunger for knowledge that we wouldn't be getting fed. We wouldn't know what was going on because, as I said, the utilities would be the first thing off. If I were the opposition and I knew, hey, all these people are striking, my first move would be cut off utilities, cut off water, cut off electric. If you were in a circus, which character would you be? um, I will answer that in a moment. And that's another pretty good one. I want to see if Hushy might have some things on that hypothetical strike of the American people against the government. I really wish, instead of having to read the comments, I had you guys with me in some way, shape, or form. That way I could ask them directly to you. It's a tough one to answer, man. It really is. And it's actually a little fun, kind of a fun little idea to play around in your head. Like, what would happen if 393 million normal citizens decided they were going on strike against the government of America? it's hypothetical. Don't ban me on YouTube or anything. This is purely hypothetical. It's kind of a fun scenario to play out in your head, like the utilities would be cut like the very next day. The last topic for tonight, for you, his last Bag Boy's last topic is, what are the pros and cons of technology? Uh, it's it's not a one-way street like it will happen all in a straight line. Some people would get worse sick-wise. Yeah. The first thing would be utilities. The next would be medical supplies, or it might go utilities for food and medical supplies, because a lot of people actually kind of hoard their medical supplies. Uh, so there would be the black markets, 100%. Agreeing with going on that idea. Yeah, it wouldn't happen in a straight line. We would have to find a way to get the information to ourselves to see what they're planning, or attempt to see what they're planning. People would defect one way or the other. Um, then you would have to worry about if the person is really defecting to your side, or if they're just feeding information to the other side. So I'd imagine it would get ugly, ugly, ugly before anything. And then again, if the military branch, if they decided not to defect at all, they have drones and tanks and stuff like that, we would probably have like small tangents of stuff like that in people's homes. The people that are hardcore Second Amendment, they would have like bunkers and such. And then you got the doomsday preppers. We might have little small holdouts, but seeing as the government would have access to nuclear bombs, I don't think they would nuclear bomb the United States, which they're trying to take back control over. I doubt nuclear weapon comes into play, but if it got to a point where they were backed into a corner, yeah. uh, I see where you're going with that, Hushy, and yeah, that's that not being a straight line thing. It's a crazy little scenario. I might actually play with that a little bit, uh, and do a whole thing on it. Let's see. The circus character. I believe I would be not the ringleader, because I don't like being like front runner. But maybe one of the people working the curtains in the back. I think that, or maybe the tiger or lion. Maybe not. I feel like I'm more of a backroom kind of person. I'd rather not be seen at all. Which is kind of contradicting what I'm doing here, huh? And pros and cons of technology. You want to be the canon guy? I'll I'll be huge Jackman from Greatest Showman. I feel you, man. You got that. You got the charisma. That's for sure. I enjoy having you around, Hushy. Anybody from DeadWolvz. I really wish all y'all would come in at one time. Everybody there has their own little things to them. It makes everybody there is great and fantastic. I appreciate being in the Discord for sure. Everybody there has been friendly, super nice, welcome me in. Y'all are great. One of the reasons I've got the confidence enough to come up on YouTube live, no notes. I do have notes on most nights. Y'all are one of the reasons I got this kind of confidence though, to get in front of a camera. And my commenters here, like Bag Boys, you're great as well. I need to get you in the Discord. I really wish you would come to the Discord. Really wish you would come to the Discord, man. It's living off I never have notes. You crazy, man. I write the notes to about 5 minutes till showtime most nights. Be trolling me, bag boys. Yeah, get on here. After this showing, I would if you got Discord, man, it should be in my description. The LOA DeadWolvz Discord link should be in there unless it's gotten changed. But yeah, it should be down in the description there. Uh, as for the pros and cons of technology, give me a moment. Let's think about that for a minute, man. What can be considered a pro that is not also on the same hand a con? Let's see. More information. That that can also be read into as a con. Um, the ability to be able to learn things that before technology you would not have any idea was out there. Like being able, alright, let's jump way back, 1600s, way back there. I mean, I don't have any kind of experience from the 1600s. I'm just speculating at this point. Let's say if they had the ability, like they, uh, let's go Native Americans. They didn't know that there were such things as ships, or even the Chinese or the Spanish, or until they came over, they got that information. If they would have had access to technology like now, they would have known, hey, these people are like this. They got all this. We might want to welcome them in. We might not want to welcome them in. They would have been able to make a plan. So anything you can say is a pro for technology can also be turned into a con. Um, medical advancements. Medical advancements may be medical and astrology advancements may be the better parts of technology advancement that may not have as many cons. I don't really want to go on record as saying that, but I said it. Uh, see, I will. There's a lot of cons with technology, but a lot of pros as well. It's a gray area to compare the pros and cons to technology because you get more exposure, but you're exposing more. Um, Kids see more, but they can also learn more. We have medical advancements, but we had to step on some people to get there, right? Because they done like a whole thing of syphilis, like down in done like syphilis testing and the effects on people down in, where was it? Fuck. I have no idea where that testing took place, but the United States government admitted that yeah, we done that, and they paid out so much to whoever it was against and their families, like they should be doing all the time. Because we have stepped on a lot of feet, but a lot of countries have stepped on a lot of feet. We're not the only bad people in the history of the history. um, yeah, we can't have pros without the cons here on technology. You gotta have one with the other. You gotta accept that if you're gonna do something good with technology, that there is gonna be a little bit of bad with it. Um, that's how you gotta look at it now. Like here, I know that at any given moment somebody can come on here and say some something out their ass, and you know, I'm not gonna catch it in time, and it's gonna look bad on me. But I'm exposing myself to that. I don't expect it to happen. I will be surprised if it does happen, but there's no way I can actually stop that because it's just me here reading these comments as they come in, and they're at a lag. So there's good and bad with technology, no matter what you're talking about with technology. If you wanna write a code, somebody can write a code that does the same thing but does something malicious to that code for when it gets ran. Like, see, there's a back and forth. It's a little bit of a gray area, no matter which way you go with it. And Man, somebody's talking shit behind my door there. I'm trying to hear what they're saying, but they quit being so loud now. They don't want this Merciless. They don't want none of that premium in it. Dang. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell them. I'm gonna jump all over here, man. Let me go open that door. Watch my daughter kick in the door like the SWAT. I don't think she will tonight. But no, man, this is kind of how the feel for Friday is gonna be. I like this kind of setup. I didn't have to rush and figure anything out. I did rush and put up some promotions. Appreciate that again from the DeadWolvz LOA community. That little tab you guys got there. Uh, that has made my night, my preparations a lot easier to get the word out there. I didn't throw it on Twitter or anything else this time. There's the SWAT team. What's up, SWAT team?
Nothing. Coming to bust down your door.
Yeah, that's how you guys do it all the time. Say hi to Hushy and Mr. B.
Hello.
That's the wife and the little one. Little one, you want to say hi? Oh, now the little one's gonna be shy tonight.
No, she's on a hunt for my phone that I've hid somewhere that I can't even find it.
Dang, well, you hit it good then, huh?
I think she ran off with it.
Girl, say hi to me.
They can hear you say hi. They won't be able to say it back to you.
Okay.
You want to say hi?
I hope to say hi to me.
You ain't got to if you don't want to. Okay. Love you. Go find mom's phone.
I can't. I lost it.
You lost it.
Yeah. I don't
Two
know
peace
where
signs.
it
Hello.
is.
Hushy says hello. Don't scream. That's gonna hurt their ears. I don't think she likes peace signs. I might be raising a devil. But no, this is the setup I like for Fridays. Tomorrow, it'll probably be in late afternoon before I start tomorrow. I'm looking at hopefully having somebody join at what Smurfs do, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. If that hurt your ears, I'm sorry. If they woke up anybody sleeping in your house, I'm sorry. But yeah, tomorrow I'm looking at doing nothing but gaming. I'm hoping to have a streamer or two join me, and I'm gonna kind of give them like an interview, but I'm wanting to give them a larger, not really a larger platform, as you can tell, but just a platform to speak up, tell us what their stream's about, tell us the game they play mostly, and get kind of in depth with that. There goes the SWAT team.
Daddy,
Yes,
I think my mom's not coming.
you're not on camera.
What you say?
I said you're not on camera. You're over the microphone. If you came like right here, you'd be on camera. You swing in the door, they can see the door. But yeah, tomorrow it'll be late afternoon Central Standard Time. I got a DOT physical I'm supposed to go do at 1 o'clock tomorrow. As for this evening, this run, I really enjoyed the interaction with the comments. Having you guys here was fantastic. As far as me and this run, here in about 40 minutes, I'm going to be starting up the 7 Days to Die, and I will be on that. As for Free For All Friday, I believe this was a good one. I appreciate everybody that showed up. Know that you are loved. You're very important to somebody, even me, even though the name says Merciless. I have a little bit of mercy on me. You're loved. Love somebody. Love your people. Keep your family in touch, man. Call them, tell them you love them. And just be mindful of each other. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And that's gonna do it for me.